This is Michelle Haproff, and this is going to be my overview of the 18 structures of the eye and the basics of what those structures do. So right here we have the eyeball, and the outside is the sclera. That is the tough, white, fibrous outer protective part of the eye. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the top off and hope it doesn't fall apart. And on the outside, protecting the sclera and also lining the insides of our eyelids is the conjunctiva. And right here, this is the cornea. You'll see it's clear and it is curved. And this provides the major refraction for the eye. Behind the cornea is the iris. It's the colored part of your eye. It's what makes your eye blue or brown or green, and it controls the amount of light that enters the eye, and it does that by enlarging or minimizing the size of the pupil. And this is the pupil. It's the hole in the middle of the iris, and this is where light comes through. Behind that is your lens. And this is your lens. And you'll see the suspensory ligaments, which are the fibers that connect the lens to the ciliary muscles down here, which we'll get to in a minute. But your lens, this is transparent structure that focuses light by changing the way it's curved. And this is your secondary refraction next to the cornea. And it gets fatter when we focus at close. And the aqueous humor is what flows through this part, which is where your trabecular meshwork and canal of Schlemm are. Your canal of Schlemm is where the aqueous flows through, and it delivers it to the rest of the eye. Your ciliary muscles, which controls the accommodation of your eye. And we talked about the suspensory ligaments. And inside, back part of your eye, in there, that's all your vitreous humor. That's the gel-like substance that fills the back of your eye, behind the lens. And now we're moving to move to the back of the eye. Right, here's your optic nerve, and that is where messages are sent from to the brain. And at the top of your optic nerve is your optic disc, and that is your blind spot. It's at the head of the optic nerve, and there are no photoreceptors there. And your macula is going to be in here, and that is a small thinned out part of your retina. It's almost all cones, which provide acuity. And speaking of your retina, that's all in here, and it's the lining of the back part of your eye, and that has your photoreceptors, that your cones and your rods that send messages, impulses to the brain through the optic nerve right here. And inside here is your fovea, and that is the center part of the macula, and it has the most cones, and right there is where we have 20/20 or perfect vision. where your, so this is your choroid right here. And the choroid is a layer between the retina and the sclera. So there's your retina, sclera, choroid. Choroid is mostly blood vessels that provide nourishment to the retina. And your ora serrata is a part of the inner eye where the retina ends and the choroid layer of the eye can be seen. So that's actually there. And so we've got your optic nerve and the disc, and I'm making sure I covered everything, and it seems like I did. So